Going on? Your boy O Scruggs back at it. Let's talk about it. So something happened, I believe it was yesterday. Dave Chappelle got ran on stage. Football tackled Chappelle. Actually, it was a weak ass tackle. I look back at it. But some guy, fan, person in the crowd, whatever you want to call him, ran on stage the other day, tackled Dave Chappelle. Then he proceeded to get the brakes beat off him after that by security, and I guess Chappelle, Busta Rhymes, and some other folks. But I think a lot of this has come. Well, first of all, this is not the first time, or this comedy or anything with somebody on stage, even in church. It's not the first time somebody is going on stage and attack a performer or a speaker or whatever. But I will say, I think this is now. I don't want to. I'm not putting the blame on Will Smith, but it's monkey see, monkey do, and that Will Smith story became the biggest news story really in the world for a week or two. And I think now people gassed up to think, oh, I want to run on stage and attack a comedian because I know it's gonna get a lot of attention, because ever since the Will Smith thing, that's the big. I don't know if people feel like it's the thing to do. I hope this isn't going to become something that continues to happen. Now, granted, people have run up on stages at comedy shows, I'm sure, a million times in this world. But when they did it, maybe they were doing it for whatever reason they were doing it at that moment, or they were doing it maybe even for attention from people in that was at that show. But they weren't doing it expecting to get world news about it, or for it to be trending on Twitter or whatever, or everybody talking about it. So I think, well, I hope not, but I think that maybe this is going to become, I hate a fad, really. This is the world we live in now. Everything is a fad for social media, even violence. So I'm actually more worried about the celebrity comedians, something seriously happening to them, because they even say this guy that ran up on Chappelle, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, from what I read, he had some type of weapon or gun, or some type of makeshift gun on him or whatever. So, and he got to Chappelle. So I mean, if he could have had a knife, he could have punched him in the face, he could have did anything. So Chappelle's actually fortunate that it didn't go worse. But my point being, I think if it does become a thing, it's going to be more with celeb comics, because people are going to feel like, oh, I could get a name, I can get my 15 minutes of infamous fame by running up on a comedian and doing something. So I hope the security at these shows, because these big comedians, they have security at at most of the shows they do, probably every show. But I hope that's something that security is aware of, and they and they kind of checking and keeping an eye out for that. Now, granted, there's no way you can always fully secure a whole wide open area like a stage from somebody going up there. It's just, let alone somebody in the crowd throwing something at the stage, things like that. But I just hope it's something that security is on their P's and Q's, and also comedians are on their P's and Q's, especially the celeb ones. Like I said, I think if this does happen, it'll be more geared towards them, because people want to get fame off it. Versus with us regular comedians, it happens, but usually it's because of something that's happening at that show. It's not because somebody came in there predetermined that they was going to do something to a celeb comic. So and me being a comedian, I've been on stage a million times. First of all, I've never had nobody run up on stage. And me personally, I've never had, I don't want to say never, but maybe once or twice, I can remember somebody becoming hostile and maybe something like that. But for the most part, I never had no issues with, somebody threatening me or running on stage. You get hecklers and stuff like that. Every comic deals with that throughout their career. But even with that, I never had anything that was like violence or felt threatened, So, but that's not to say it can't happen. And I'm also, me personally, I'm also aware that when I go on stage, something you say to some, words have a lot of power. So something you could say to somebody could, piss them off and make them want to do something. And, for us regular comedians, we don't have bodyguards, we don't have security. So, somebody do something, maybe another comedian or other people in the crowd will help you, but that ain't no guarantee. So, not to say I'm scared, but that's not my style of comedy, to go on stage and be threatening or aggressive or to crack jokes on people in the crowd. Not to that extent where it might seriously hurt somebody's feelings. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how things go moving forward. But to all the comedians out there, you know, be aware, still go on stage, still do your thing, talk your shit, but also be aware that you know, we might be in a time right now where people feeling, you know, people feeling almost feel like it's their right to go up there and do something to you if they feel like they don't like something you said. So, you know, just be aware of that. You know, be aware of your surroundings, and hopefully this ain't a thing that take off, and you know, hopefully it dies down like most other fads, and you know, people find something else to do, like climbing milk carton crates or whatever again. So, boy, O Scrubs, leave a comment, leave a message. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to become something that happens more often, at least right now, with people running on stage up on comedians or even singers, actors, whatever? But I think right now is the fad because of the Chris Rock situation and even the T.I. situation with the young lady last month. So hopefully this isn't a trend that's coming, but you know, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Comics out there, still get on stage and do your material. You know, easier said than done, but I would say don't go up there in fear that something gonna happen to you, because you know, you can't let other people take you off your square, make you move your pivot. You still gotta go through life and do your thing, but also be aware of what's going on. Your boy, O Scruggs. Leave a comment, leave a message. Please subscribe. Peace.